Hello, family, and welcome to Toast to Love.
I am Isaac McJimsey.
And I am Jackie McJimsey. We're toasting to your love tonight.
Still delicious. Still delicious. Well, family, hey, this is our final week of talking about the love cycles, the 5 essential stages of love. And we know that love happens in a stage. And so this is our last week for this book. The book is by Linda Carroll. We want to give credits to her. Awesome book, something we read through and definitely going to incorporate in part of our relationship.
So listen, we've had a lot of great things happening last week. We went over to the TCS Christian school. It was awesome. We were able to speak with some young kids about healthy relationships, because that's where it starts at. So shout out to Beverly White and this Christian school over in Anderson. We had a fantastic time with a great group of kids. Wonderful thing to celebrate, guys. If you're looking for something to donate to, that's a great school. Those kids are great. They're learning some wonderful things. Also, we are doing last week we were at the Fatherhood talking about parenting. Yeah. March the 17th, we're back at the Fatherhood again. Talking about parenting and sharing with it was awesome sharing with those guys about parenting. We learned we learn new stuff all the time.
That's right.
Hey, and it's on our Facebook page. If you missed it, go back and see if you can't look at it and check it out. Some great tips if you're parenting, co-parenting, or single parents. It's some good information in that. How to deal in relationship with your mates and with your co-partners or the people you're sharing children with.
Right.
Also, want to remind you guys about the Fly Trap on Tuesday night if you are available. Tuesday nights from 9 o'clock till 10:30. Isaac McJimsey and Ralph Sweeney host the Fly Trap.
That's right.
And it is a relationship. They talk about relationship, sports, current events. If you have any, they do a lot of interaction with the audience. So it's a great show to catch. If you got single friends that's got questions about relationships, it's a great show to catch on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. And that's the Fly Trap. Also, our one of our partners, Ralph Sweeney, has a body butter lotion that he uses. It's called the King's Blend, and he also has the Queen's Blend for us ladies. Great smelling lotions. If you're interested in some, we're about to come into the summer season.
Yeah,
we want our skin to look good. This is something great to try. It is very, very helpful. It helps with if you have patchy skin or anything like that. This is some great lotion to try. Also, we want to talk about E2M. If you're interested in losing some weight and you don't know exactly what to do, give E2M a try. We will start again on tomorrow. We've lost weight. We're excited about it. We're still working on losing weight. So, this is a lifestyle change. It's a lifestyle event. Go to their page and get signed up. I think they're still doing
yeah.
I think you can still sign up today, maybe tomorrow, but I know today you can still sign up. And last but not least, guys, we have Bebo 360. That is our massage oil. If you're interested, please contact us, inbox us, either Jackie McJimsey on Facebook or Isaac McJimsey on Facebook, and we can get that in your hands.
Good deal. Those are announcements. Hello, family. We're talking about wholehearted love. This is the last week, third part of the stages of love. And we know there's 5 stages. We start with the first stage and went through 3 of those stages.
The first stage was the merge, coming together, meeting.
And then the second stage was, making that once you come together, making that decision.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then the third stage, after you make the decision, you have doubts. And then the third stage is delusionment. You get delusion, not sure if it's going to be what you thought it was going to be.
Well, not only that, the third stage was also talking about, hey, this is the time when you really feel like I'm falling out of love. I don't like this person. I'm not happy with this person. I don't want to be with this person anymore. And understand, family, people at this point think it's time for us to break up.
Right.
We also talked about during that stage, the 6 C's.
Yep.
That's what we talked about. Making a choice, making a commitment, making sure you celebrate your marriage, having compassion for one another. We talked about courage and co-creation also. Yeah, if you missed that show, it is on our Facebook page. Go back and take a look at it. It's some great information in there. We just giving a shout out again to the book. It's the 5 love cycles, and these are the cycles that were listed by Linda Carroll. And if you want to get the book and read it.
Shout out to Tamara Holman.
And Tamara, she got the book.
She got the book. Hey, shout out to you for wanting to invest in your relationship. That's all this is, family. This is the reason why we do Marriage 360. Is you got to make investments in your relationship. This is part of it. This won't solve everything, but it's a small seed. It's a small part of what you can do to invest in it. So shout out to her and her husband in Nashville, wanting to invest in their relationship.
I mean, we say this often. This is our new tagline here at Marriage 360. Loving is a skill.
Yeah.
And if you don't develop it, you will lose it. So we are encouraging you guys to take some of these steps into investing into your marriage, into practicing and working on your skill.
That's right.
So let's get into
it. Okay, let's get into it. So this week we're talking about wholehearted love. We're not talking about the baby phase. We're not talking about limerence. We're not talking about when you first come together. We're not talking about the other cycles, but we're talking about wholehearted, lasting love. And the definition of that is, and I'm going from the cuff, but I think the definition of that is when you love a person and facing your fears, facing your anxieties, facing all of that, and still committed to loving them anyway. That's what wholehearted love is.
The goal of wholehearted love is to gain the love of the first stage without the drug, without the dopamine.
That's right.
When we first meet, we talked about it here a couple weeks ago. We talked about the merging. When you come together, when you guys come together, everything is gravy. There's nothing this person can do wrong, and there's nothing anyone can tell you about this person. This person is perfect. There's nothing wrong with this person. They're good to me. I'm good to them. They're going to always be good to me. Like, you've known them for 3 weeks.
Yeah. Hey, it's all gravy in the initial stages. But as you go along, pain and trauma can come in, and it's more difficult. You have to dig down to experience wholehearted love. Just want to give some shout outs before we go further. Shout out to Miss Rachel. She's supporting us. And
thank you. Hey, Rachel.
Also, Mr. Ralph Sweeney, Mr. Denora himself. Shout out to our friends in Columbia, Miss Katara and her special friend Jay.
Best friend.
Shout out to Pam, lifetime friends, Pam Pettigrew. Oh man, I couldn't go any further without saying hello to Janelle Taverbaugh and Mr. Reese Taverbaugh, and Mom. Hello, Minnie Murphy.
Hey, Mama.
Shout out to them. We got a lot of people on, and so just shout out to you. But we're talking about wholehearted love.
Hey, remember to like and share this video.
Please do.
And also hit the notification button if you don't mind, so that you get notified when we get ready to go on, and you won't miss out on anything.
So obviously there's barriers to wholehearted love. Why don't people just wholeheartedly love? Why is it that after 3 or 4 years, why is it after 5 or 10 years that people hit a wall? It's because there are barriers to wholehearted love. And so we just want to discuss some of the barriers. And you may be experiencing these. You may be going through a barrier where you don't know what it is. You can't quite articulate it, but you know that there's a wall or a barrier there. And we want you to break through that wall, but you got to know what it is.
Family, we want to talk about this. What is a barrier?
Yeah.
Barriers, most of the time we see barriers on the highway, or even what's a wall? You see walls in your house. If you have a solid wall in your house, you notice you can't see on the other side.
That's right.
But also notice the people on the other side can't see through to you.
That's right.
So when we throw up walls, and we throw up these walls, family, because we've been hurt in previous relationships and previous situations.
Right.
You know, sometimes those walls are set up from childhood.
That's right.
You know, somebody may have touched you inappropriately or treated you inappropriately, and you've got a wall up in that area. And the person that you love is just they're trying to get in. They want you to be open. They want you to be honest. They want you to be dependent. They want you to be dependent on them. We like to use the word interdependent. But they want you to be able to share. They want you to be vulnerable.
Hey, you know, we were talking about this Thursday, the Upstate Fatherhood. You may be missing the modeling of love from a parent. And so now you're in a relationship that, you know, a father may have not been involved in your life, or a mother may have not been involved or treated you inappropriately. And so now you don't have the skills to show that other person that. And so you got to learn those skills. And you got to learn how to first of all, love you. You can't be codependent. We don't teach codependence, because I have to be whole and complete, and I bring my whole and complete self to Jackie. I don't bring part of myself to Jackie, or at least I don't depend on half of me and half of her. It's all of me. It's all of her. And codependency is just not healthy, nor does it survive. That means my total happiness depends on Jackie, or my total joy depends on Jackie. My fulfillment in life depends on Jackie. That's not healthy. Plus, that's a lot of pressure.
And I can't live up to that.
Exactly.
So we want to be interdependent. We want to make for sure that we can survive, but also that, you know, in my dependence, that I'm looking to my mate to see what makes him happy, that he's looking to me to see what makes me happy, that we're working together, we're agreeing to agree.
That's right.
So that we can come to a common bond or common theme together. It's so important that we have these conversations with our mates and make for sure we're doing that.
All right, we're moving on. The next barrier is 4 barriers. This is number 2. The next barrier is what we call the love addiction. Many of you may be in this. Limerence. Years ago, we were in this stage. I think we're coming back around. We're making the wholehearted love. But limerence is that first stage where we call it, you know,
the Hallmark thing.
Hallmark. Everything's great. They hadn't made you mad. They hadn't done anything, a betrayal or anything like that. And it's very physical. It's very intense, and it's very passionate. You're living off the emotions. It's been proven, scientifically proven, that love can be the replicate effect of a drug. And some people, you know, they're addicted to falling in love.
Romantic love can be an addiction because you're looking for that feeling. You often hear it when people hit that disillusionment stage too. When we're like, you know, I'm not even in love with you no more. I don't want to be in love with you no more. And then you meet somebody else, and that someone else that you meet is like, oh, hey, I love you. You know, I love talking to you. Everything about you is great. And you get that feeling again. And you think, oh, this is what I'm missing. I don't have this with my wife. You know, you may not have that with your mate anymore because there may have been situations. Look, real life kicks in.
That's right.
And when real life kicks in, that's when you need to not give up. That's when you need to run towards it and start living it, because you're gonna go back through this phase with somebody else. We find these people who fall in love and they, you know, everything is great first 2 or 3 years, then they just break up. Right. What happened? We just fell out of love. We just weren't right for each other. No. You just gave up.
So wholehearted love is more dedication, more commitment than. It's nothing wrong with romantic love, but we can't be in love with the idea of love.
That's right.
It's more to wholehearted love, to committed love, to what we would call the agape love, if we want to go spiritual. Before we move to the next one, we're talking about wholehearted love and some of the barriers to getting there. Is a few comments. Hello to Miss Anna. Hey, we love you, sis. Appreciate you. All you're doing with the Queens Blend and with Denori. And also she has a show coming out.
Valid point. She's talking to she's gonna be talking to young ladies. Drop your if you would drop your Valid Point website or the Facebook page in the comments, Anna, so that we can share that with the people. She's going to be talking to young ladies about some of the pitfalls you're looking at when you're trying to get involved in a relationship.
Hey, also, we want to just give a shout out to Papa Murphy,
hey,
James Murphy, Big M,
Jackie Spencer, hey.
Hey, Jackie. And then Christina Hughes. Thanks for hopping on. Y'all, we don't find it robbery for any person that would follow us, that would take the time out to listen to what we do. We try to work hard to give good content. And so we ask you, like and share. Please like and share. Also comment if anything that we're saying is blessing you, just adding a value to what you would feel be to your relationship. Please like, please share, please subscribe. So we're moving on, y'all. We're moving on. We're talking about the barriers to wholehearted love. The next one is a closed heart.
Where does that come from? What is closed heart? Not being able to receive love because you've been hurt previously. You know, somebody has said something, someone that you love has done something to you, and you're like, I can't take this anymore. I'm done with it. I can't let you in. But I got a boyfriend. I got a girlfriend. I have children. Understand, family, when you have a closed heart, people who are trying to love you can't love you. Yeah. We encourage people all the time. You go in and we have children, and we go into these relationships, and we think, oh, I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm good. But people don't realize that their heart can be closed because of something that happened to them in childhood.
So look, we're going to flip this to the spiritual, and thank you. You gave me that slide in. Is this? We want to say this from a spiritual standpoint. In Hebrews, it's the scripture says, "The day you hear God's voice, harden not your heart." So what is a hard heart? What is a heart? It's when you throw up those walls because of pain, because of bitterness, because of resentment, because of trauma, because of unforgiveness. There's betrayal. I would love for Jackie to talk about betrayal in just a second, but all of these things can happen to you. And now you throw up these walls. So you're not able to give love.
That's right.
And you're not able to receive love. So we encourage you. There's a couple of things that we're going to go through that helps with a hard heart. This also talks about in Matthew where there was a sower of seed. He was trying to sow seed. And some of the people couldn't receive the seed because they had a hard heart. A hard heart. You got to ask yourself, if you've been in a relationship or if you're in a relationship and you got a hard heart, it's going to be impossible to get to wholehearted love. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to receive love and give love. That's what it's about. And so we don't want you to be in that place. And so in a few seconds, we're going to give you some antidotes. We're going to give you some skills because we believe loving is a skill.
Loving is a skill.
And if you don't use it, you'll
develop it, you will lose it.
You'll lose it. You'll lose it.
So listen, he talked a bit about betrayal, and betrayal is breaking a violation of trust.
Yes.
With someone that you love. And Isaac and I have this thing, we always talk about I always say everything's relative.
Right.
But let me say this. If you have someone that you feel betrayed, what does that mean? That means that you've done something to me that I don't appreciate, I don't like, and I feel like you have turned your back on our friendship, that you turned your back on our marriage. When that happens, that can throw up a wall. And we think, oh, I'm going to get out of the relationship, so I'm not going to be bothered with this right now. But understand, if you don't stop and take a look at what that was, hey, I got betrayed and I didn't go talk to anybody about it. I didn't go seek help on how to get that, didn't process it. When that begins to happen and you don't do anything about it, then you walk around with a closed heart.
Well, y'all, we went through the Gottman Institute. One of the ways Gottman puts betrayal is anything you put above your spouse. And except for God, we're supposed to put God above all, but anything you put above your spouse, that's a betrayal. That could be your time, that could be your career, that could be friends, that could be money. Anything that you say, it should be God, then it should be your spouse, and then everybody else. Anything you put above that, even children, even children. Anytime we do that, that's a betrayal of the relationship. And so we got to be careful. It's not just infidelity. It's not just, committing adultery. Those are betrayals.
Those are betrayals.
But it's almost of the same effect when we put our job before our spouse. When we put other people before our spouse. And so that can cause a closed heart.
And mind you, family, also know this is just the reaction to that is the same thing as having an affair. That's right. You know what? It wasn't that bad. It ain't like I cheated on you. Yeah, but the way your body, your heart, it can't receive that. It can't see what's happening. It can only feel what you feel, and that's right. What it feels like, family. Right. It feels like a betrayal. Hey, we want to give a shout out. We've got a couple of new people that we are meeting with on Friday. We're excited about meeting them. I'm not gonna put your names out there, but we are so excited to meet you guys on Friday. And Rashida, let's see. It says a root of bitterness. Oh.
Yeah, root of bitterness.
Root of bitterness.
Man, you don't want bitterness. I also want to give a shout out to Edmund Davis. Thank you, Edmund Davis. Our family from Oklahoma City. And love you and Casey. Love the children. Also give a shout out to our sister, Devon McGimpsey. Love you. Love you. I mean, just love the fact. We want you to comment. Tell us, maybe give us examples where you've experienced betrayal. I mean, we've all experienced trauma and pain in our relationships. But guess what? You can move forward to wholehearted love, even in the midst of pain.
You can.
Even in the midst of trauma.
Because what wholehearted love is another meaning for wholehearted love. The good you've done, the bad you've done. I know you as a person. I know I know your ups and I know your downs. And despite all that,
I still love you.
I still love you. I still got love for you. One thing I want to say right quick right here, this is a little bit off the subject. Edmund Davis is a really good friend of mine. Him and his beautiful wife live in Oklahoma. We're godparents to their wonderful 4 children. And look him up on Facebook, guys. He's in the process of writing a book, and he puts out some pretty awesome quotes every day.
Oh, man.
I am in love with them. So, hey, if you want some everyday encouragement about gratefulness and gratitude from a successful young man, look up Edmund Davis on Facebook.
The title of his book, I can put it out there because he's putting some flyers out, is Activate Your Words. And man, I am so inspired. He's giving me a little sneak peek on some of the material, and I'm so grateful for that. It's caused me to change my perspective on and be careful of the words and the power our words have. And I don't want to tell his book, but be looking for it's coming out. I'm telling you, he is going nationwide. Activate Your Words, and it's powerful. So
Roche
yeah,
says,
hey, activate your words.
And Pam, I like what you said. Sometimes we can put church before our marriage, and
That's
church
right.
is not God, and that is so true, family.
That is true.
Family, it's I think pre-COVID, a lot of us were sometimes we could get so caught up in church. Oh, I gotta go to church tonight. Can't cook dinner. Can't pick up the kids. We definitely you want to put God first in your life, but God has given us responsibilities, and our responsibility is to our family, and we have to make for sure that we're doing church in conjunction with
the local assembly
and our family.
That's
and
right.
Making for sure that we make time and place for church in our life. It's important.
I always say we are the church, no matter where we go. So, hey, moving on, we're talking about wholehearted love. We talked about a closed heart, but next we've also talked about being codependent, an addiction to love, closed heart. But finally, a last barrier could be, what are the stories we tell ourselves? Y'all, we're all telling ourselves a story. And, I read that in a book. I'm not going to say what the book is. Activate Your Words. But seriously, we're all telling ourselves a story. And guess what? We're the hero or the victim in that story. And we got to be careful. That's why we need outside counsel.
That's right.
That's why we need Marriage 360. That's why we need our spouses, because maybe the story you're telling yourself is not a true story. And so I think it's important that we be careful and get analysis on the story we're telling ourselves. Because you could be telling yourself, that person doesn't love me. Right. They don't care about me. They're not fully vested in our relationship. And that may not be a true story.
That's right.
Yeah.
We did, we just recently did a class at the Fatherhood about domestic violence. Mm-hmm. And one of the activities that we did was, family do this sometime. Write the word love down on a piece of paper. Huh? Then write what abuse is. And then write what anger is or betrayal is. Make a list. And the funny thing about it is that love does not cross over. The words you put down for love won't cross over with anger. The words you put down for love won't cross over with betrayal. Now, all the other anger, betrayal, those words, now sometimes those words can be used, the emotions that you feel can be the same. But understand this, and we say this often, love, just someone can hurt you and still love you. Right. They just may have a problem that needs to be addressed. So it's important that we begin to get meanings behind the things the stories that we're telling ourselves, because we could be telling ourselves a lie.
All right, family, we went over what the barriers to wholeheartedness. We want to put a bow on this and make sure you understand, how do we create a bridge to wholeheartedness? There's a gateway to wholeheartedness. There's a bridge to it. And I'm going to say this before we put up the first point. It doesn't say this, but it all starts with you being vulnerable and you humbling yourself in your relationship. The Bible says we need to submit one to another. I need to submit to Jackie. Jackie, of course, she's great about submitting to me, but I have to have humility and be vulnerable with her about what my fears are, about what some of my anxiety is, about what some of the things that cause me sleepless nights. That's right. And when we do that, that opens a gateway. It opens a bridge to wholeheartedness. Most of the time we got the walls up and there is no bridge.
That's right.
So we can't have wholeheartedness. But the first step, I think, to understanding that is we have to be vulnerable. And then we got to walk these steps. Number one, got to have self-worth. Mm-hmm. Jackie mentioned where we did an example where we poured water into a cup, and then we had another cup, and then we weren't pouring anything into it. Some of us didn't get self-worth growing up. Some of us weren't encouraged growing up. And I encourage you to get counseling. I encourage you to see your pastor. I encourage you to talk with your spouse so that you can learn to get self-worth, because you got to come whole and complete to your spouse. You can't expect them to validate you.
You got to know that you're worthy of love and respect. You are. We're all worthy of love and respect.
Yeah.
So the next thing we've got is generosity.
Yes. Giving. Think about this. Once the walls start coming down, the walls of bitterness, the walls of resentment, the walls of unforgiveness, once those come down, now you're ready to receive. You're vulnerable, you're submitting, you're humble. If you're both doing that, now there's a gateway, there's a bridge, and you're able to give. You're able to be generous with them. You're able to be honest with that person. You're able to give in a way where you're not holding back. And it will feel like, I'm telling you, stage 5, you can create a new relationship where it feels like stage 1 again.
You can. And you know what? The funny thing about this, you're giving, and as you're giving, understand this person may have ever hurt you. They may have ever done something to you. They may have broken your heart. They could have stole your Cheetos. But understand, that's what, as you get in a wholehearted love, this is loving that person with all their faults, everything that they've ever done.
Just want to read a quote from Mama Minnie. She said, "Thank you. You are never too old to learn and change." That is right. No matter if you've been together for 5 weeks or for 50 years, you should be striving to not only create newness, but create change and evolve and transform in your relationship. You're never too old to learn. And I also want to read a quote from Jay Farr out of Union. He will be moving to Columbia as soon. We want to hear that announcement. He says, "Understand the difference between barriers and warnings." I agree. And shout out to Sabrina Johnson. How you doing? Welcome to Marriage 360. We ask you share, like, also tell others about us. We're just trying to help couples, one couple at a time. And so we're continuing on with wholehearted. That's right. Wholehearted love. Next thing is playful. Mm-hmm. Can I get some sugar?
Come on.
My. You always got to be playful. If you're going to really move into wholehearted love, you got to continue to be playful. Scientists have seen, and you want to talk about that, about animals?
What they say, animals, all animals, they engage in playfulness. it's good. It's good to play. Go outside, play with your kids, play with your maid, tickle each other, cuddle buddies, whatever, make for sure you have that element in your marriage where you can laugh with each other, where you can have a good time, where, hey, everything is not always so serious. And know how to take a joke. Let's not be mean. We don't want to be demeaning to each other, but what we do want to be is respectful. What we do want to be is honorable to our mates. And what we do want our mates to know is that we love them, we care for them, and they can be playful and vulnerable, and we can have a good time.
Something that falls into both of these two, and I want to say, I think this is important about being generous and being playful. It evolves into celebrating your mate. We got to celebrate our mates. I know somebody's got a birthday coming up later on this month. We're going to celebrate her, celebrate who she is. She means so much to...
It's my birthday.
Yes. So we got to celebrate. Last year we celebrated my birthday, and man, what a celebration. And it is great to be celebrated. But we can take the small moments to celebrate each other. And I think that's important. So be playful, be generous. But most importantly, number 4,
seize the moment, family. This is our last one. We want you to make for sure that you value every day with your mates. Listen, in this life of COVID that we're having, in this life of you don't know what's going on. We got wars going on. There's famines going on. Family, enjoy, seize the moment every day.
Man,
love your mate every day.
We got a lot of birthdays. Well, Jackie's birthday. March is a celebrating month. When my mother was living, her birthday was, of course, on the 5th. We got Marcus's birthday on the 11th. Lanajah's birthday is the 25th. But most importantly, Jackie's birthday is March 26th. And we see also here on our broadcast, Miss Sabrina, her birthday is the 28th.
All right. And so is Anna.
We got Anna. Look at that.
Ladies, sounds like we got lunch.
Lunch. Doesn't it feel good to celebrate?
It does.
But you got to seize those moments. We try to take time out, and we talked about this at a...
Reese's is March the 12th.
March the 12th. All right. It's coming up. Wow.
Dinner.
And the Sims, they've been married 26 years on March the 10th. Come on, keep telling them.
That's awesome. Yay!
March it's a party. It is a party. We're having a party right here on Marriage 360, and we love it. Celebrate. It's great to celebrate and be celebrated, but you got to seize those moments. I don't care if it's a lunch date. I don't care if it's early in the morning. I don't care if it's late in the evening. Whatever you have the moment and you're led to celebrate, to be playful,
that's right.
Seize those moments. Don't let it pass. Look at the Harpers. Larry's birthday is the 29th.
Oh, man. Be partying all weekend.
Yes.
And Carol Ferguson, she says, I'm a single woman and I benefit from y'all. Hey, Carol, thank you.
Thank you.
And you know what? These tips and tools that we're giving you, hey, these are things that you can use whether if you're in a relationship. Understand, we spoke to a group of kids with Miss Beverly the other day, and what we told them was this. We said, you know what? You're in a relationship right now with the people that you're in school with, with your classmates. That's when you learn. You're practicing relationships as a single person, as a child, and now you want to begin to celebrate your relationship when you get married, when you get together, when you find someone serious. You're gonna know how to treat them because you're gonna know how to act with your best friends.
All right, Miss Sims said, yeah, send playful text.
Oh yeah, I like that one.
And we hear Jay said he sends his friend Katara. He celebrates her.
He does. We had the privilege of spending some time with them with the travel club.
Yes.
And we learned, but them some friends. They are in the process of planning their wedding and deciding when they want to get married. But you know, the number one thing that they have decided that they're going to be until that moment is best friends.
Family, I want you to do this. We've gotten a little bit away from it. We're going to kick it off again in the next couple of weeks. Hit Jackie and I with your prayer requests. We want to pray for relationships and pray for marriages. Wise man once said, healthy and strong marriages, they run in packs.
That's right.
And one of the things we can do for each other is pray for each other. Mm-hmm. And we're going to set up our prayer board, and we may not write down publicly what your request is, but privately, we will take your request to the throne. We will go before God, get on the altar, and pray for whatever the situation is. And we're dedicated to that, because some of the times we have to put the super on the natural and be able to get to where we need to be. So hit us in our private boxes if you have a prayer request. If nothing else, to just say, hey, pray for my marriage. And y'all pray for us.
Pray for my relationship.
Yeah, pray for my relationship. I want to be married. Help God to lead me to that person. We'll pray for that.
That's right.
But send your prayer request in, and we will pray. I'm committed to prayer. We got some intercessors that will pray, and we're committed to that.
Hey, listen, family, thank you guys so much for sharing tonight with us. Remember, loving is a skill, and if you don't develop it, you will lose it. So tune in to Marriage 360 as we continue to help you guys to develop some skills. And before we leave, we want to toast again to everybody's birthday.
Yes.
And to you guys' love. Have a great night.